If you quit added sugar for 30 days, the first change may not happen on the scale. It may happen at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when your brain suddenly expects the snack, drink, or sweet coffee you have repeated for years. During the first week, your cravings may feel louder. Your normal coffee may taste wrong. Your energy may feel unpredictable. But that does not mean your body is detoxing. It usually means your routines have been interrupted. And by day 30, the biggest change may not be weight loss, clearer skin, or perfect energy. It may be realizing how often added sugar was making decisions for you. So let's follow what may realistically happen from day 1 to day 30, including the changes that are real, the ones that are exaggerated, and the replacement mistake that can cancel most of the benefit. First, what are you actually quitting? This experiment is not about removing fruit, milk, or every carbohydrate. Whole fruit contains naturally occurring sugar, but it also provides water, fiber, and nutrients. Plain milk and yogurt naturally contain lactose. Added sugar is sugar or syrup placed into food or drinks during processing, preparation, or at the table. For these 30 days, fruit stays. Regular meals stay. The main targets are soda, sweetened tea, candy, desserts, sugary cereal, flavored coffee, sweetened yogurt, and added sugar hiding inside packaged foods. Now the experiment begins. Days 1 to 3. Your routine fights back. Day 1 may feel easier than expected. You skip dessert. You order coffee without syrup. You walk past the candy bowl feeling completely in control. Then the afternoon arrives. You finish lunch, return to your desk, and something feels missing. You are not necessarily hungry, but your brain remembers that this is normally the time for something sweet. At night, the negotiation begins. One cookie does not really count. This craving is real, but it does not always mean your body urgently needs sugar. Cravings can be triggered by hunger, stress, poor sleep, convenience, emotion, and repeated routines. If you always eat something sweet while watching television, the television itself can become a cue. If dessert is your reward after work, stress can become the signal. And if your coffee has tasted like caramel for 5 years, plain coffee may feel completely unfamiliar. This is the first major lesson. A craving is not always an emergency. Sometimes it is a routine asking to be repeated. There is another reason the first few days may feel difficult. If your usual sugar came from cola, energy drinks, or large sweetened coffees, suddenly stopping may also reduce your caffeine intake. A headache or fatigue may then be blamed entirely on sugar. And if you remove breakfast, snacks, and drinks without replacing their energy, you may simply be hungry. That is not a detox. That is an incomplete meal plan. So do not remove a sweet breakfast and eat nothing. Replace it with something more substantial. Eggs with whole grain toast. Plain yogurt with fruit and nuts. Oatmeal with berries and peanut butter. And if 3 o'clock is normally your danger zone, prepare a snack before the craving arrives. The first 3 days are not really testing whether you can survive without dessert. They are revealing where sugar lives inside your daily routine. Days 4 to 7. Sugar becomes visible. By day 4, the obvious foods are gone. No soda, no cake, no candy. Then you begin reading labels. Added sugar appears in pasta sauce, cereal, granola, bread, salad dressing, ketchup, flavored yogurt, plant-based drinks, instant oatmeal, and snack bars marketed as healthy. This is where many people make the challenge unnecessarily difficult. They turn it into a purity test. You do not need to panic over every gram. You need to find the largest and most frequent sources. Start with drinks. A soda, sweet tea, energy drink, or flavored coffee can deliver a large amount of sugar quickly without satisfying hunger in the same way as a complete meal. Removing one sugary drink that you consume every day may matter more than obsessing over a small amount of sugar in a food you eat once a week. Then, compare products within the same category. 2 yogurts may look almost identical, but one contains no added sugar while the other is closer to dessert. The same can happen with cereal, oatmeal, sauces, and snack bars. By the end of week 1, your body may not look dramatically different, but your food environment does. You begin to see that added sugar was not always something you consciously selected. Sometimes it was added before you ever made a choice. Week 2. Your cravings may change, but the replacement matters more. During the second week, some people notice that sweet cravings become less frequent. Others still want dessert every night. Both responses are normal. Your taste preferences do not need to disappear for your behavior to change. You may still enjoy chocolate, but the craving that used to appear automatically every afternoon may become less powerful when the cue and reward are no longer repeated every day. Your meals may also begin to feel more satisfying, but only if you replaced sugary foods with something better. A breakfast containing protein and fiber may keep you full longer than sweet cereal and coffee. A complete lunch may reduce the urge to search for a quick snack an hour later. But quitting added sugar does not automatically create stable energy. You can avoid added sugar while eating mostly refined crackers, white bread, chips, and large portions of low-fiber food. You can replace every dessert with sugar-free cookies and assume they no longer count. You can sleep 5 hours, skip lunch, and still feel exhausted in the afternoon. This is the most important reframe in the entire experiment. The benefit does not come from the empty space where sugar used to be. It comes from what fills that space. This is also when the scale may begin to change. If removing sweet drinks, desserts, and snacks lowers your total calorie intake, you may lose some weight. If you replace those calories completely, your weight may barely move. Early changes may also reflect water, sodium, digestion, and normal daily variation. So instead of asking only, "How much weight did I lose?" ask, "Am I drinking fewer calories? Do I stay full longer after breakfast? Are my snacks more deliberate? Is my afternoon energy more predictable?" Those changes may be more useful than one number on the scale. Week 3. The changes become quieter. By week 3, you may wonder why the dramatic transformation promised online has not appeared. That does not mean nothing has changed. Some benefits are simply less visible. Your teeth, for example, may now be exposed to sugary drinks and snacks less frequently. That matters because mouth bacteria can use sugar to produce acids that contribute to tooth decay. Your overall diet may also contain fewer highly sweetened, calorie-dense foods. If you previously drank several sugary beverages every day, reducing them may begin moving your calorie intake and some metabolic markers in a healthier direction. But 21 days is not enough to promise that you have reversed diabetes, cured fatty liver, or eliminated insulin resistance. And this is where another mistake appears. A product can say, "no added sugar," and still be easy to overeat. It can still be low in protein, low in fiber, highly refined, or packed with calories. No added sugar is one piece of information. It is not a complete definition of healthy food. Week 4. The question changes. During the final week, the most useful question is no longer, "Can I survive without added sugar?" Now the question becomes, "What did I learn that is worth keeping?" Maybe you discovered that your biggest sugar source was not dessert. It was the drink you finished in 5 minutes. Maybe you realized your breakfast was much sweeter than you thought. Maybe you do not miss flavored yogurt at all, but you genuinely enjoy dessert with your family. Maybe removing automatic snacks made you feel more in control. Or maybe rigid rules made you think about sugar constantly. That is useful information too. The goal is not to leave this experiment frightened of birthday cake. Your body does not require added sugar, but one intentional dessert does not destroy an otherwise nutritious eating pattern. The larger problem is often frequency. Sweetened coffee in the morning, soda at lunch, a bar in the afternoon, sauce at dinner, dessert at night. Each serving may seem small, but sweetness has become the background of the entire day. By day 30, you may finally separate the sugar you genuinely enjoy from the sugar you barely notice. That is the difference between restriction and control. Restriction says, I can never have this. Control says, I decide when this is worth it. What should you keep after day 30? You do not need 10 complicated rules. Keep 3. Rule 1. Remove liquid sugar first. Sugary drinks are often the easiest large source to reduce. Use water, sparkling water, or unsweetened tea as your normal choices. If your sweet drinks also contain caffeine, reduce them gradually if stopping suddenly causes headaches or fatigue. Rule 2. Build meals before fighting cravings. Do not rely on willpower while eating meals that leave you hungry. Try to include a protein source, a fiber-rich food, fruit or vegetables. A satisfying meal makes the vending machine less powerful. Rule 3. Choose intentional sweetness. Keep the sweet foods that genuinely matter to you. Reduce the ones you consume automatically. Maybe dessert remains part of the week. Maybe coffee becomes less sweet. Maybe soda becomes occasional instead of daily. A rule you can maintain is more valuable than a perfect month followed by a complete rebound. One important safety note. If you have diabetes and use insulin or medication that can cause low blood sugar, changing your usual carbohydrate intake may affect your glucose levels and medication needs. Continue monitoring as directed and discuss significant dietary changes with your healthcare professional. Anyone with a history of an eating disorder should also avoid turning this experiment into rigid or obsessive food rules. So, what really changes after 30 days? During the first week, you discover your routines. During the next 2 weeks, you discover whether your replacement meals actually keep you full. And by day 30, you begin to recognize which sweet foods you genuinely enjoy and which ones you were consuming without even noticing. You may drink fewer calories. You may build more satisfying meals. You may lose weight, or you may not. And your cravings may not disappear completely. But the most valuable change is awareness. The goal is not to fear sugar or follow a perfect diet. It is to make your choices more intentional and stop letting habit make every decision for you. So take a moment and think about your own day. Where does most of your added sugar come from? Your morning coffee? A drink with lunch? An afternoon snack? Or something you barely notice? Share your answer in the comments. And if simple, science-based explanations like this help you understand your body more clearly, subscribe to Science Says Health. Because better health does not usually begin with a dramatic reset. It begins with noticing one pattern and making one better choice at a time.